Hey everybody, Harvest here from DEHYDRATIng Farms. If you're new to my channel, I just want you to know how excited I am to have you join us today. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and then hit the bell. So today we're going to talk about food preservation. I'm a huge fan of preserving our food. So before I get into all that, I just want to give you a little bit of history in case you're new to us. So we are a large family. My husband and I live on 2.5 acres with our 7 children. Yeah, we have 7 kids. We have a dog, a cat, we have chickens, turkeys, and my wonderful mother-in-law. Food preservation is a key component to our food preparation, but it also helps us preserve our budget. I'll go through the different methods of food preservations that we use in our home, and a few that we would like to try in the future. Now, because this is an overview, I won't go into a lot of detail for each method, so if you have any specific questions, please leave a comment or send me an email. Now for the disclaimer. This is a serious part. Please do your research before you try any of these methods. These are methods we use in our home. I'm not a professional. You are fully in charge, so make sure you keep your cooking and preserving areas, utensils, jars, food, and dishes clean and disinfected. Sterilize when necessary, and please follow all the recommended guidelines and recipes. First of all, in our home, we have to buy in bulk. There's just no way around it. We shop from companies such as Azure Standard and Bob's Red Mill for local, good quality items that we can buy in bulk. We also buy from a local produce company that delivers to a drop-off location once a week. They offer in-season fruits and veggies at amazing prices and in pretty large quantities. I'm hoping to grow our garden, so we won't be using them as much in the future, but for now, they're a really, really great resource. We do raise our own chickens and turkeys, and for us, we plan to have rabbits and pigs within this next year. So with all these wonderful food options, we're constantly looking for ways to improve our food preservation and organize our food pantry. Our goal is to be self-sustaining, growing our own food, and we would like to be teaching others how to do the same. So first off, I want to start with canning. We can everything from meat to jellies, juice to pickles. I have a link to my pickling video if you'd like to watch that. One of the main reasons I began canning was to control the ingredients in our food. Way too many of our foods had added preservatives to keep them shelf stable. Well, I wanted healthier options for my family. In our home, we have all sorts of canned goods. Canning can be super intimidating when you first start out. I know because I was intimidated. I was also overwhelmed by all the possibilities and was confused by things like the hot water bath versus pressure canning. I found a gal in our homeschool co-op who was also new at canning, and so we decided to get together and experiment. Our combined knowledge, newfound friendship, and willingness to experiment gave us the opportunity to find new and wonderful recipes. We had lots of successes and several failures. We laughed, stayed up late, and learned. And after 10 years, we're still close friends who still get together and can. Next is dehydrating. Dehydrating is another way we love to preserve our food. I've used my dehydrator for things like fruit leather, candied lemon peel, apple rings, and jerky. But not until this year did I really get started dehydrating other things like tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, herbs, corn, and all the rest of the things that you might find in a pantry. Most of what I dehydrate, I vacuum seal and store in large buckets in the pantry. That's like a double whammy, so it can keep critters from chewing the bags. I currently have mushrooms on my dehydrator. They'll be ready for soups, sauces, or meat dishes at any time. If you have not used a dehydrator or have had one and don't use it very often, I would encourage you to dust one off or go to the store and get one. You can get a simple one for about $60. You don't need a ton of food to dehydrate. If you happen to have a couple of veggies or pieces of fruit that you're not going to be able to eat fast enough, try dehydrating them. I can't tell you how many overripe tomatoes, the one zucchini left over after grilling, or that apple that someone wanted me to slice but then didn't want to eat. If they were there, I put them in the dehydrator and preserve them. Some veggies need some prep work before they're able to be dehydrated, so I make sure I know what process they'll need, such as blanching, before I just throw them on a tray. For that, I have what's called the Dehydrator Bible, and I love it. This book has everything you need to know, seriously. From dehydrating process itself to recipes, this book has it all. Again, I would encourage you to take a chance and try it. So, pickling is another wonderful way to preserve food. My favorite is refrigerator pickles. You may be thinking it's reserved just for cucumbers, but you'd be wrong. You can quickly pickle just about any veggie. I make a quick brine on the stove and have things like pickled carrots, zucchini, onions, garlic, all kinds of peppers, tomatoes, and of course, cucumbers. I throw it in the fridge, and in about 2 weeks it's ready to eat. It stays pretty fresh for about 3 months and tastes just as delicious and crunchy in month 3 as it did at week 2. And our family really does love it. I have a yummy recipe that I use in my ball canning book. I've also found some great recipes online as well. We have 15 chickens who are laying eggs right now. Every day we go out and collect the eggs in the afternoon. Some days we use all the eggs, and sometimes we don't. On those days we don't use them, I store them away in a bucket of water and lime. This method is called water glassing. I have a link in the description below for you. I absolutely love this method because it's been used for generations. We preserve our extra eggs in the summer when egg production is high so that we don't have to buy any in the winter, or at the very least, buy very few. You'll want to make sure the eggs are clean and not cracked before you use this method, and please make sure your mixture of lime and water is accurate. Before I really got into canning, I was into freezing. I made freezer jam, froze chicken broth, ice cubes, froze veggies, and so much more. Early on in my food prep history, I didn't feel confident in doing much else. I could, however, throw things in bags or jars and stick it in the freezer. I know so much more now. After a few busted jars from expanding food, or leaking Ziploc bags because I didn't think to double bag, or even ice crystals because the broth was still a little bit warm when I froze it. I love my food saver bags. I will use my vacuum sealer for so much of my preserving. I can control portions, vacuum seal jars, portion out cuts of meat when we bought it in bulk. When I dehydrate foods, I will vacuum seal them for storing in our pantry. We have a large area set aside for our emergency supplies. This holds food for our whole family as well as supplies we might need if we ever have to vacate quickly. We'll go through our items every 6 months to make sure they're still within their usage dates and also to reevaluate their necessity. A couple of things that I would like to learn still, but seem super intimidating to me, are fermenting foods and freeze drying. I hope you've enjoyed this video and all the ways that our family preserves. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below or go ahead and email us at DEHYDRATING@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. I appreciate you sticking through the whole video and taking a walk through our pantry. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell. In the meantime, blessings to you all and have a great day.